Hello and welcome back to Dungeons & Dragons, Planescape, Torment, the Enhanced Edition. When we last left off, well, we got Fall from Grace in our party. But, like I said, we could definitely use some better armor. And what we're going to do to get that is have Annah use a whole bunch of these dirty rat charms.
All right.
I just had some questions. What are those lights you were embroidering? Nothing fancy, just a bit of art. I at times weave fabric when the fancy strikes me. Those items by lavish enhancements are most special creations, are rarely sold. What sort of magical clothes do you have available? Conclave looks you over, finding nothing would fit you, that's for certain. Well, I'd like to see what you'd offer just the same. Annah, gonna be stealing. Alright, and I want the bodice of the godless priest. Awesome. Save, new save. The 1B. And you are going to hand that over to that, because that gives you memorize 3 additional first level priest spells and memorize 2 additional second level priest spells. Yeah, same armor class, but honestly I kind of think having more spells would be considered a bit better. And -1 to attacks, -1 saving throws, making it more difficult for enemies to attack us is not the worst thing. Aid is +1 to hit. Alright. Also provides 1 to 8 more hit points. Okay. But yeah, that should help quite a bit.
I'm gone.
And some questions. What sort of magical clothes do you have available? Now, Flitting Shadow and Brazen Rogue. Brazen Rogue. That go +1, which isn't bad. +15 pickpocket and +25 stealth. Of the two, I think I want to
Not this time.
have the ability for her to steal easier.
Aye?
Close. See what you offer.
Not this time.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna pause and get this done. 1 sec. And of course, it had to be the next time I tried. Okay. Well, it's definitely better armor class. Also, let's hand that over.
A ring without a proposal? How improper.
Okay. And then we can get you curse and the rest heals. That all feels real good. And we never have to come here again. Okay. Learn language of the Dodecahedron puzzle. That actually is down south.
Done.
I'd stay out of there, citizen. It's dangerous down below. It is, in fact, dangerous. And once we're done doing all of this, we're gonna be accepting that danger. Firium the Linguist. It's not here. Where is that book? Short, scholarly man, a tight, nervous frown on his face, looks you up and down. Greetings, I'm Finium. Must beg your pardon, sir. I care little for guests, invited or otherwise. So unless you have business with me, I'd ask you to leave. I did have some questions. I would have you know that I'm a scholar and a linguist, sir. What I shall happily entertain any questions regarding my field of study, language and the like. I can be of no help to you in other matters. Unfold the dodecahedron to a page with writing on it and ask if we can translate it. Takes the unfolded dodecahedron in his hands and examines it closely. This language is a long dead one, known to virtually no one. I believe my father, a linguist like myself, knew this language, and may well have been the only man in Sigil at the time I could understand it. I recognize it from his notes, but I cannot translate it. Do you have the notes still? Finium shakes his head. They'd be of no use to you if you're looking to translate anything, and the few actual books he had pertaining to language that disappeared around the time of his murder, I believe. Your father was murdered. Finium nods. Strangled he was. He left to tutor someone. He taught various languages to supplement his research income, and was discovered dead in a side chamber of the Civic Fest Hall. Killer was never found. This was perhaps 50 years ago now, but I was just a child. He knew the language, though, and could teach it? Surely he did, and could, were he alive today. My father was said to be a great teacher. Finium sighed softly. I have his skill with language, but not his patience for others, sadly. Is he interred in the mortuary?
Updated my journal.
Well, I know. His ashes are kept here. He points to a bronze urn sitting on top of the cabinet beside a bouquet of purple flowers. Why? A wry smile crosses on Finium's lip. A necroscope, are you? Speak with the dead? Suddenly frowns. I have no wish to speak of these things any longer. You'll have to excuse me, sir. Farewell. Farewell, Finium. Chosen to grace my home once again, have you? What do you wish to me this time? Had some questions. Never mind. Research journal of linguists named Finium. Very much like to see them just the same. Finium gives a knowing sigh. I'm not certain where they are just now. I'm looking for something else at the moment. My research journal. Perhaps when I've recovered I could spare the time to find these notes for you. Is it this book right here?
Updated my journal.
Finium's eyebrows arch. Why, yes it is. He takes it from you and begins to rummage through his pockets. Here you are then, my father's notes. Square then, are we? Good. I've looked over my notes now, so you'll excuse me. Thanks, Finium. Farewell.
In knowing the teachings of Zerthamon, I have become stronger.
Good to know, Dakon. We will take care of that first. Spell memorization abilities have increased? Yes. +2 hit points and another +2 hit points. Nothing there, nothing there. Let's see, balance in all things. Whatever your attack, someone else gets it. Increases critical attack. And we need to get you some level 4 spells. Okay. Finn Adelaine's notes. These are notes of deceased linguist Finn Adeline. They are composed of his research in language of the Uyo. These are notes of deceased linguist Finn Adelaide. They are composed with research in language of the Uyo, which seem remarkably similar to the writing you found hidden in the Hexahedron puzzle box. Read over them carefully. See if it sparks a memory.
Updated my journal.
As you read over Finn Adelaide's notes regarding the lost language of the Uyo, there's a throbbing sensation in your temples as the memory begins to surface. Memories of this language. You recall letters, words, phrases until, like a spire winded blowing away the blanket of poisonous smog over the great foundry, the language is once more revealed to you in its entirety. You should be able to read the writing in the Hexahedron now. Put the notes away. Yay! Let's use. Heft the cold grey dodecahedron and examine it carefully, now aware of its various deadly traps it holds for the incautious user and how to avoid them entirely. Having learned the dead language of the Uyo, you're able to decipher its contents. Unfold and read it.
Updated my journal.
Tablet turns out to be a journal of sorts, one kept by some prior incantation of yourself, it would seem. And not an altogether sane one either. There are only a handful of completely coherent sections. Browse through it. Where do you wish to read about? Whispering shadows? The whispering are not the shadows moving! They are speaking, plotting, talking to each other. I can understand some of what they say. Okay. Read about a female ghost? This book tells me things, whispering things. It tells me to avoid the ghost girl. Avoid her. I do not know her, and she torments me. Okay. Hiding something within your own body. And so I swallowed it, hoping it would catch in my bowels. I can make someone remove it when I need to. Yep, a ring. We know that one. Read something else. Paranoid ranting. I have learned that my life is not my own. I will not allow you to have my life. You will pull my life back from my broken body if you want it. It is you who will die. I cannot have it. Neither will you. You are responsible for this treason of flesh. You will not live to live my life. Okay. Cursed tattoos. The accursed tattoos will not leave my skin. I've tried to burn them off my skin. Failed I have, and cloak myself. I always feel that people are reading my flesh, reading me like a book. When they look at me, I want to tear their eyes out, pluck them from their sockets, and crush them beneath my heel. Great. Dreams and revel. Why can't I dream? I used the goblet of Semir to force a waking dream, and I saw a hag. She tempted me, threatened me with shadows. I have never seen her, but she came when I dreamt it. I must not dream again. I must always be aware. I destroyed the goblet. She says she is someone of power, and she will have me. I will find me. Get away, hag. Stay far from me. Leave me in peace. I want nothing to do with you. Continue reading. Her voice reeked of evil talons like spiders. They burrowed into my gray matter, and I needed her out of my mind. Out, hag. She was a myth, a fairy tale, who alone challenged the Lady of Pain. How can one fight someone who is a myth? I do not have the weapons. I need the weapons that will kill her. Should she find me? I need strategy, so she cannot defeat me when she comes for me. I must devise and think. I shall beat her. Okay. You're weird. Danger of names. Fear names. Names have the power and identity. Names can be used as weapons by others. They are a hook that can be used to track you, find you, hunt you across the plains. Remain nameless, and you shall be safe. Okay, I guess. Killing in the fest hall. So I went to the fest hall, looking for the path of my false self in the hall. So glaring it was, I did not know. The false ones welcomed me into their confidence, treated me as a friend, showed me my room, attended to my needs. I had to restrain myself from launching out against them. That would have been premature. First thing, to protect my identity. Found one who knew the exclusive language of the Uyo. I learned it as I could, then killed him. Then I went to the sensorium prepared to end the matter. Soon. Yeah, I figured that was us. Yeah. Read about the murder of one who tried to help you. There is nothing he can do. Memories are gone, he says. Never return. He says lies. He tells me what he told me. Lies. He says my mind is weakening with every death. Lies. He sat there betraying my confidence with every turn. He says that only after 3 more deaths, 3 more lives will I gain the benefit of keeping my memories. But I, myself, I will die. When I die. How can one be immortal and still die? One could not answer, so he was of no use. I butchered him so that no other incarnation would ever benefit from his uselessness. Great. Read a cryptic answer from an unknown source. So the ghastly head said, "You have been divided. You are one of many men who bear many names. Each has left their scars on your flesh." Okay, continue. "Lost one, immortal one, incarnation's name, man of 1,000 deaths, the one doomed to life, restless one, one of many, the one whom life holds prisoner, the bringer of shadows, the wounded one, misery bringer, Yemeth." Continue. "You are the silvered glass that has cracked the pieces and scattered across history. Only one piece is important. Regain that, and your life will be yours again. There will be a price. The price will buy you a chance. Without the chance, you are doomed. You have lost that which is never meant to be separated from man. Your mortality has been stripped from you. Lost. It exists, but you will find it before your mind is lost to you as well." Okay. Show more. Read something about a legacy. "Legacy," the note said. "Forget not to collect your legacy." Small code scratched behind it. 51 AA. A trap, no doubt. Set by another one of my false selves. I'll see it destroyed, I will. 51 AA.
right.
Well, let's go talk to our lawyer.
Ah, the sweet smell of sensates and governors.
All right.
You see Iona, turns as you enter and fixes you with a tired gaze. There are dark sacs beneath his eyes. He looks at you because he's not been sleeping. "Greetings, Ionis." "You again." Ionis frowns slightly and stares at you. "What do you want this time?" "I have some questions." "Very well. What can I help you with?" What's an advocate again? Actually, I believe you have a legacy from me. "Indeed? Very well. Do you remember the legacy in question?" "Legacy is number 51 AA, I believe." Looks at you as surprised as you named the legacy. "That's extremely old. Are you certain?" A shot look comes from his face. "Hope that wasn't ones that was burned." How old is it?" "Well, several decades at least." Can you check and see if the legacy still exists?" He nods quickly. "Oh yes, of course. It'll take a moment." "Very well, I will wait." Yanis returns, nodding. "Yes, fortunately it was unharmed by the fire. All articles are saved." "Could I collect on it? I am the beneficiary." "Of course. Sign here and here on the dotted line. There and there. All right." Not sure what I signed, or how I signed. "There we are. That should be the last of the paperwork. Here are all the items that were in the vault. One looks like a foundry receipt, though quite an old one for sure. Did the deceased have something commissioned from the foundry?" "I don't know. Perhaps. I'm beginning to think about anything as possible. Where is the foundry?"
Updated my journal.
"Oh, it's located in the lower ward. You are a godsman after all." "Thank you for the directions. I will go there now." We got some money too. Strange chunk of rock. Stone Gullet of Lepal the Gross. Unique artifact. Permanent +1 save versus poison. Permanent 15% resistance against acid. Nice. Gurgling Stone of Lepal the Gross is not as well known as the artifacts tend to be. No wars have been waged over it. No betrayals. No epic journeys to the underworld. Only a few moralizing sorcerers, a fat man, and his stomach. As the legend goes, Lepal the Gross was said to have a promising practitioner of the art, a sorcerer's apprentice to one of the last seers of Essanon. Despite his skill at the art, however, his gluttony was subject to much ridicule amongst his peers. During the last great massing of Essanon, Lepal was invited to dine at the center table, but unknown to him, his peers had filled his wine goblet with an elixir of turning flesh to stone to teach the rotund student a lesson. Lepal consumed such great amounts of food and drink during the mass, however, it diluted the potion's effect. Complaining of a stomachache hours after the feast, the local healer discovered that Lepal's stomach had turned to stone, yet was still capable of digesting food. Lepal lived the rest of his days happily eating, though his gullet was a few pounds heavier than before. When he finally died, his stomach was removed as an oddity, and since then it had wandered the plains in search of new stomachs. To use the artifact, one must consume it. It has the consistency of stale bread. So doing will turn the eater's stomach into a stone gullet. Devouring the stone gullet, Lepal will grant the user the blessing of stone and rock and Slight resistance to stomach acid. Okay, well, acid's bad, so let's use it. Kaleidoscope again. A chromatic orb. A kaleidoscope eye. Usable only by good creatures. Yay! That's us. Shimmering Jewel is actually the corpse of the radiant spirits of the upper plane of Elysium. When these creatures pass away, they leave their shimmering husk behind. These husks are often mistaken for jewels or semi-precious stones. Their essence is still that of harmony and goodness, and they can only be employed by a creature whose heart is filled with good intentions. Kaleidoscope Eye is either to be wielded by the hand or placed in an empty eye socket, depending on whether the owner wishes for it for defense or offense. When held, the user may summon the power to harness ambient light, twist it, or turn it against the enemies. Placed in the owner's eye socket, the eye grafts itself through the wearer's skull and helps shield the new owner. It absorbs a portion of the energies from incoming attacks and provides proof against all manner of magical attacks. When the Kaleidoscope's eye offensive power is exhausted, it cracks and turns to dust. And a receipt. A receipt stamped with the symbol of the Godsman. Probably redeemable at the Great Foundry. So... +1 against missile, -1 against crushing, detect traps, and a bonus to Thaco. But this one has resist to magic. Probably going to keep both, but still. And,
I'm
before
gone.
we head too far away, let's, is there a...
All right.
Drop that there. Container is locked. Ooh.
Right. Got it.
Yeah, and I
Done.
can... There's an urn atop this cabinet full of bashed charged bits of bone. Etched on the urn are the words Finidal, beloved husband, father, scholar of 100 languages. Yeah, we'll leave it alone. No need to wake the dead. But when we come back, finally got a lot of quests done. Have a good one, folks.